It's no surprise for anyone who's been paying attention that Disney's been having a tough time with all their live action remakes lately, but for the most part, they've actually been skirting under the radar for all the regular Disney fans out there. But now even those people are starting to take note of how bad that these movies are and starting to turn on Disney. So right now in this op-ed from Pirates and Princesses, Disney fans are turning on the Disney live action films with Snow White. So that is, Snow White is kind of the catalyst for a lot of this ire coming towards them because of the fact that they recast the Seven Dwarfs. I mean, we saw these set photos come out recently and pretty much they were mocked by everyone. I mean, there was really no one who was defending Disney on this matter because not only are you leaving out the beloved Seven Dwarfs, but I mean, you're trying to just, it's so obvious what they're doing is like a real mix of diverse characters with different genders and things like that. I mean, it's clear that they were trying to just make it like this. And you know what? You could have had Seven Dwarfs of various ethnic backgrounds and stuff like that if they wanted to be more progressive and whatnot. But I mean, by leaving out the dwarfs itself, I mean, it just seems pretty bad. So let's jump down into the article. It seems that fans have finally decided that the live action remakes are getting out of hand and they are starting to mock the decision by Disney. The upcoming Snow White film has been the turning point as many are voicing concerns over Disney not hiring actors with dwarfism to play the beloved characters, instead opting to cast diverse individuals of normal stature. Of course, many are using the racism argument, saying that people are against the film because the lead actress not being white was what we saw with the live action adaptation of The Little Mermaid. But many are angry over Disney's choice to play it safe by not casting actors with dwarfism or similar conditions for fear of backlash. In doing so, people argue that the movie passed being progressive to being regressive. So yeah, it's like, they're like, we don't want to offend any dwarf actors or anything like that, so we're just going to leave them out entirely, which is just a ridiculous thing. I mean, just imagine if they're like, we don't want to defend any black actors for, I don't know, our remake of Princess and the Frog, so we're just going to cast everyone as white. I mean, it's pretty much the same argument right here. I mean, that would be ridiculous. I have seen this image kind of going around on social media about people saying like, I wonder if Disney does a live action remake of Tarzan, if they're going to race swap Tarzan and make a black guy raised in the jungle by a bunch of monkeys or whatever. I mean, I think that's where they'll draw the line, or maybe they won't actually do that entirely. But yeah, I mean, just the fact that people are actually calling this out, like it was defended by no one. And this is what the article from Pirates and Princesses points out. Just Disney, for example, posted a lot of support for the live action version of The Little Mermaid. In those threads, not liking the film usually resulted in the majority of commenters siding with Disney. But now the majority of commenters are calling out the regressive casting choice that seems to have been made. All Just Disney did was post this image and it set off quite a frenzy in the comment section. Original remake. Like I said, you could have had the Seven Dwarfs in different ethnicities and whatnot, and I don't think anyone would have cared. I mean, it would have been obvious what they're doing, but at the same time, it's still keeping in spirit with what the original is supposed to be. But by doing the Seven Portlanders, it really doesn't work that way. But yeah, I mean, like I said, even regular people who would normally defend Disney is starting to call it out on this. And it's just one of those things, like, you live by the woke, you die by the woke, because it's not going to work for Disney to try to say like, well, look, it's a diverse group of people. It's like, yeah, no one cares because you're leaving out the dwarf actors. Oh, well, they're going to probably be like, no, we got one here still, so we're still progressive, right? It's like, no, it's not how it works. But we're definitely seeing this, and I think Disney has really taken a long look in the mirror to try to understand like what they should be doing next. And some people are even speculating that Disney probably should just start canceling stuff. I mean, especially with the strikes that are going on, they've already canceled some projects and pushed back other ones. I mean, maybe Snow White is one of the movies that they probably should cancel right now because no one is looking forward to this. I mean, if anything, it's just going to be cost them more money to market it and distribute it. So, I mean, some people were saying like, well, maybe it will be better if they just released it to straight to Disney Plus platform, and maybe that's so. I mean, but I mean, there is still a cost incurred with that. I mean, that's why they literally would just cancel some or pulled some things like Willow off a Disney Plus platform, because it costs more money to put it on there than it's generating. So maybe they should do that, just put it on there, or not just take the loss right now. But some people are really speculating that maybe this isn't about trying to remake it, but maybe it's just a attempt to try to maintain the rights to it. And that's possible, and maybe they could just cancel it and retain the rights to it. I mean, famously, the Fantastic Four from the mid-90s movie was literally just that. It was a movie that was produced, never intended by the producers to actually distribute it. It was just supposed to be something so they can make something in order to maintain the rights to it, because when you own the rights to it, you can have it for so long, but if you're doing nothing with it, well, then the rights revert back, or so. It's something like that. I'm not entirely sure about how it works, but I mean, I'm just know that if you do, you have to produce something in order for it to work, maintain the rights to it. And maybe Disney could just cancel this right now and still get that for Snow White, because like, yeah, it's like an 85-year-old movie or something. I forget when it came out. Like, what was it? 37 or whatever. So yeah, maybe that is the goal right now. I mean, maybe they do have to produce something. Who knows? But one thing's for sure, that they're just losing money hand over fist with all these live action remakes that they've been making, and no one likes them anymore. I mean, you even get some things like this, which the audience score for it on Rotten Tomatoes were okay. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but even then, it still has over a 60% drop in its second weekend after having an already abysmal opening weekend. So, I mean, it's just losing more money this way. And one has to ask, how long can Disney actually maintain this? And a lot of the arguments is saying that people just don't want to watch these live action remakes anymore. People want Disney to actually go back to the time when they were being creative and coming up with something new, instead of just trying to slap the Disney label or a new paint job on something that's already been out there before. I mean, because you're never going to beat the originals with these. So, I mean, the only thing you're going to do at best is just have something that's tolerable. But if people really want to watch these movies, like with Snow White, you can just watch the original, and that's better than what they're going to produce now. But let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. And if you like this video, make sure you click the like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with the latest news. Thank you.